Howdy folks. Day soap is a sample is LA shaving. This one here is called Blackfern. And I've got, this lid was a little tough to get all open. There's just a tiny bit in there. That's what it looks like. It's fairly soft inside. And if I remember right, this one here has some clay in it. And it was pretty easy to get out, but I could almost feel the texture of the clay when I was putting the soap in my bowl over here. But yes, it does have charcoal in it. That's the reason why it's dark in color, like a charcoal black, if you will. And I've got the matching aftershave here. I got these samples, by the way, of Grumatorium. I have a link down below to Grumatorium as well as Maggots in the way of picking up some samples. And if take that off there, that is a spray right there. I know some folks like to spray in their aftershaves. For me, I like to pour it out, so I'll probably work it that direction. I've got it whipped up here with a brush from, if I can get this here. See, I don't know if you can see that. That's Shaven Sailor. And it is a little on the wet side, pretty drippy. That's about how I like it. It's slickness usually is pretty good at that point, as well as also cleanup's a whole lot easier when it's wet like that. I'd already put a hot towel to the face this morning. I'll be using the Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements Ice Cube. What's left of it, if that helps any. My nose has been giving me fits this morning, so as goes for scent description, I've got that sort of thing down below. I remember reading that it's got a eucalyptus and I think orange. It might have floral scent. I know when I first got the sample, I could smell it without a problem, but like I say, this morning, my nose, I've spent the better part of probably close to an hour this morning blowing my nose. It's just really giving me fits this morning. The here in Oklahoma, the weather is expected to have a cold front come through. And usually when something like this, that kind of drastic change, if you will, it usually affects my sinuses, and I sometimes I can tell before they start reporting it on the news that the weather is changing. But yeah, sometimes when these sort of things happen to my nose, it goes haywire. You would almost think that it was spring and the cars are covered with pollen, and the way my nose is acting today. But I can still pick up the menthol though, working with my nose. Shaver of the day. This shaver I've got is the first one I started with, Occam's razors. When I got this particular setup, I went ahead and purchased all 3 plates and got it on sale. And if I remember right, I picked it up for like, it was either $50 or $55 when it was on sale a while back. And not only was I excited to get it, but even afterwards, I mean, the excitement for me with this particular shaver is still there. And I've had this one here for a while. I've used different plates with this one. And the 2-dot plate works best for me. And I've got the Kai Pink blade in there. And you can probably see the 2 dots there. I think it's on this side. Yep, right there. And like, before, on the other shavers, they're held in by screws. Just tiny little ones. So far, I haven't had any problems. I haven't lost them. Now, this particular shaver, you may see variations of this. You might see that this portion here might be hollow. In other words, open through here. And it may not be tied together. It just might be like 2 pieces of metal coming down through here. I've seen different variations and colors as far as that goes. When I ordered mine, this was just the color I decided to go with. Couldn't tell you why at the time. I think that just probably was the mood that I was in when I ordered. But this particular shaver is giving me some really nice smooth shaves. Really happy with this shaver. When I first got it, I was kind of concerned about the handle. That was one of the biggest drawbacks for me, was the handle was, I wasn't too sure, it's concave in there, so there's a groove. Makes it a little easier to hang on to when you position reposition it in your hand. But for me, I thought that the shape of this handle might be problematic for me. But after using it, have to say I just seemed to, I guess you might say, adjust to it pretty easy. It kind of came natural in the way of adjusting to the handle. It may not look like a handle that a lot of people would get accustomed to, but for me, the way I handle it, it just seemed like it just came natural. In other words, how I'm holding it here, my little finger on the bottom, my index finger runs right across the top there, fits right down in the concave part. It just fits naturally. But I remember when this first came out, I looked at it and thought, I don't think I could ever get used to that handle. And then when the price dropped, and I thought, with as many people that's already tried this, I thought, surely I can get used to that handle. And the angle is pretty, it is preset. And I just follow that angle, the bevel that it's already there. That's what I follow. And I get pretty smooth shaves. Now, I mentioned this before with this particular blade. It is showing that it's got a few shaves on it. I can definitely feel it. But my very first shave with this particular shaver and this blade, as far as that goes, was so not just only smooth and comfortable, it's so efficient. My face was so smooth. Guess I might want to lather up again, huh? Getting all excited about this shaver. Like I say, it's the one that started the, I guess you might say, the ball going. Once I got that one there, I had a tough time resisting any more. Ended up with the Enoch and the Hiram Commander. That Hiram Commander, though, it is a good looking shaver. Shaves great too, but I mean, it's just like, wow. This one here is not the lightest, but it's definitely not the heaviest by any means. So I guess you might say it's kind of middle of the road, but it does favor more the light side. To me, the more the weight is up here, which to me doesn't throw the balance off any. Sometimes when a head's heavy, it kind of throws things off on the shave, but that's not my experience. Soap's doing pretty good. I think a full-size puck of this runs $21.99, and I noticed that not all of LA shaving soap runs at that price range. There's some that is, I guess you might say, further south of that. That's, I think, around $15, $16 if I remember right. This particular scent, the name of it just really kind of interests me. I can pick up a little bit right now, the scent. And it does have a floral scent to it. Not picking up the orange just yet. On a better day, I probably could. There's some scents in there that I like. For instance, the eucalyptus. I would have thought my nose would have picked it up, but I'm not too sure sometimes whether that's a menthol from the cube that I'm picking up from time to time. Sometimes a menthol, a eucalyptus, a mint. Those kind of scents sometimes will stick on my nose for a while, well after the shave's already done and over with. I have a link down below to try a blade, because if you have a shaver like this and you want to try different blades but you don't want to buy the whole pack, 15 or 20 blades, try a blade has a number of different blades For instance, feather, kai, the whole, I guess you might say, gambit of blades that are available. Now you'll probably will need to go to, which I'll have a link for the website for this. There are some blades that will work with this and some blades won't. And I think the going price right now is, what is it, $115 or whatever for this one. But like I said, I would wait for a sale. That's what I do anyway. But on saying that, sometimes you miss out on things if you're waiting for the sale. For me, I thought at $55 or $50 that this was a pretty good try. In other words, I probably wouldn't be too disappointed with it at that price range. And I'm not. This is, like I say, I've got all three plates, the 1 dot, 2 dot, 3 dot. I've got all three plates and quite happy that I got them. Face feels pretty good. I'm not sure if the charcoal has much to do with the overall post-shave feel right now. My face does feel moisturized. Feels pretty good. I still pick up the scent from the soap, so that's a pretty good indication about scent strength, at least for my nose. This is a new experience for me with this soap, so I guess you might say trying to take a little bit of time seeing what my nose is picking up in the way of scent, but I know the shave is pretty nice. I just don't know, for me with my budget, some other folks, that price range for that jar of soap might work well for them. May not be quite the issue. I just know that typically anything gets up around $20 in the way of soap, I have a tendency not to pay much attention to it. That's just me. I try to keep my budget down smaller, smaller numbers. Crown King alum block complete with rubber band this morning. Day being Monday, everything's been kind of slow moving on Monday, Labor Day. Kind of quiet this morning. Tony's already had his chew bone this morning, so he's nice and calm. He is Tony's our German Shepherd, and I tell you what, he is how can you say, quite needy time-wise. He requires a lot of attention. Here's the this is Stirling unscented but mentholated witch hazel. He is really. Right now I don't go back to work. I'm working from home. I do when I go back to the office to work, I should say. Right now, it's set up to be just after the beginning of the year. So I don't even go back to the office till 2021. And my wife says now that whenever I leave, that he sits at the front window whining. So separation anxiety and all that sort of thing is probably going to be really tough on him when I leave. Face feels wonderful this morning. Just awesome. Can't complain a bit about this. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can't. My hands, I got soap and everything else on them. Squirt some of this aftershave in my hand here. Which is, it's a pretty decent sized sample. Another place to get, as it goes, for aftershave samples that it has a good selection is Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements. In other words, their soap samples might be small in choices, but as it goes for the aftershave, they've got numerous ones that you can choose from, and it's at $1. I think it's like 99 cents. So, in other words, you can try several at that price, and how you say, not break the bank. Fougere, I think that's what I'm picking up. That overall category, I guess you might say. I'm gonna put a little bit more on. This smells pretty good though. I like this scent. It's a scent that works well within what I've got. In other words, I don't have a whole lot of this kind of scent, and I think yeah, this would be a good addition. If the don't get the soap, the aftershave might be something I might look into. There's the cap. I don't know if it's, there seems to be like a, it's probably the witch hazel, that menthol that's in there, that nice cooling effect I have on my face. But boy, this has been a fantastic shave this morning. As it goes for blade loading, I'm pretty sure that Classic Shaving has already got these videos out. When I got this particular shaver, it has a little gizmo that you use where you can hook into the back of the blade right there as it goes for putting it in or place or taking it out. For me, I know it's not going to be easy to see, but it is easy to take out without the gizmo. As you can see there, it comes right out. And I don't think the camera is going to be able to pick this up, but right here and here, you might see those little posts that come down. They're kind of like rectangle in shape. Those are the two. You kind of got to bend your blade down just a little bit and it snaps right into place. There's some notches in that blade there where those posts will sit right in there. For me, I haven't really had much of an issue of a blade rattling or vibrating. I know when I first started, I can't remember, I think it was this one, the blade had a tendency just to vibrate just a little bit, but over time it doesn't seem to be the case anymore. And I don't know if it was just maybe that blade, when it was made, maybe the holes, the slots were just a little bit bigger than what most of the other blades were. It's hard to say what the reason was, but for me, I haven't had quite that experience with a blade vibrating. At least I'm not noticing it in the shave anymore. Might have been just when I first started using it, I may have noticed it, but it's just been, in other words, just a small vibration. But anymore, I don't notice it. I get great shaves with this shaver. It'll always stick around with me. Next one I've got worked up here is this one here is it's a single edge from Icon. Don't think it's available anymore. I have a Schick Pro line in there. And this handle, of course, it's not what came with it. This is a copper handle. And this copper handle, I might clean it up a little bit, maybe. I don't know. Kind of like it is. This copper handle, for me, is pretty special. I got this by the way of Mac Metalworks. Got this handle. It came from Savannah, Georgia. It was a grounding rod. And when I was in the Army, that's where I was stationed. There was there in Savannah, Georgia, and I thought that was pretty special, the story behind it, and so I had to have that. But it's got some weight behind it, and even though the head is very light, the handle being copper, it's got some weight behind it. It has a nice feel to it, especially if you like shavers that's got weight behind it. This one here with this handle works pretty nice. That'll be on my next shave. Hope everybody's doing well. Stay healthy, stay safe, and smooth shaves to you.